Okay. I think the most important part to get across here is that after selling his last car wash business and auto body industry, he was in a personal conversation with his mentor and personal friend Zig Ziglar inspired Tim to become a public speaker, talking about rock and roll, blogging, and personal branding. Tim is also a partner in X2 Investments LLC, a Dallas area real estate investment company that he co-founded in 2009. Now, is that Dallas, Texas, correct?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas,
yeah.
Texas, not Dallas, PA. He drove here to speak to you today, which is crazy to me. Not that you don't deserve that. You definitely deserve that. But please help me welcome Tim Gillette to talk about how to use live video streaming to build your brand.
You guys have been sitting way too long. Lunch is over with. I want everybody on your feet. Come on, I want to do a test real quick. Everybody on your feet. Come on. Test. Everybody on their feet. I love playing games when I actually come and speak at events like this. And what I want to do is play games, and there is going to be a winner. All right? And the winner is going to get introduced to 50,000 people I know online. Anybody interested in that?
Sure.
Oh, I've got your attention. Something about that number 50,000 interests people all of a sudden. So if you are on Facebook and Twitter and you have more than 10 followers, stay standing. Less than 10 followers, sit down. Wow. You people need some work. 100 followers or less. Sit down. 100 or more, stay standing. Okay. Start it. If you have 10,000 or more followers on Facebook and Twitter, stay standing.
What if it's a different social media app?
Doesn't matter.
I have to check and see.
How many do you have?
Just shy of 40.
Just shy of 40? Okay, yeah. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to explain to you. How many you have? I know you have a lot.
I have almost 900 something all together. Well, my Facebook. But
Okay.
almost 1,000.
So the two of you, and Jenny, of course, I'm going to interview Jenny again anytime. Got to know Jenny. But after I share this, I'm going to share with you an opportunity how I can interview you and listen what I'm going to share today, because I'm going to share how we can interview you and get introduced to my audiences. Isn't that fun? How many of you like after lunch standing up? Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, I usually do funny things when I get up to the front of the room, and I like to do interesting things. Like, you know, I've sung songs, I've danced when I come up the stage. All right, I've played music games, you know, name that tune and stuff like that. This room is a little bit different setup than I'm used to, so it's kind of hard for me to adapt to how I have to play games speaking at events. But I'm here today to talk to you about some things that matter to me. This here is an emotional speech for me. Very emotional. I've been speaking, Zig Ziglar, as you heard, my mentor, told me to be speaking over 10 years ago. And I didn't start until 2010. And it has been a goal of mine to speak in the city of Scranton, Pennsylvania. I know, to you people who live here, it's not much of a big deal, is it? But I was born here. I live in Dallas, Texas, and I speak all over the country. But this is the first time I've ever gotten to speak to you folks here in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And while we're on things that matter, when Zig Ziglar told me I should be a speaker, I told my father I was going to do it. And 2010, I lost my dad. However, his oldest sister is in the room, my Aunt Jean. So, I'm honored that my aunt gets to see me speak. Anyway, that's the emotional part. I'll get past it, I promise. Anyway, let's talk about my video. I told you, it was an emotional day for me. So I usually talk about rock and roll keys to business success. So the thing I always talk about is keys and things that matter. I like keys because keys usually make things go faster. How many believe in that? That's what matters to me. How many know what that is? Come on, that's anybody? That's my Harley Davidson motorcycle. Yes, I ride quite a bit of motorcycle. My wife and I tour the country quite a bit on motorcycle. It matters to us. What matters? Because we're going to get to video here in a minute. Very important about what matters. Because this is something else that matters to me. And that's a picture of my wife and I at the Dallas, Oklahoma playoff game that they lost. Anyway, that matters to us. That matters to my wife. The Mavericks matter to my wife. So I became a Dallas Mavericks fan because my wife liked the Mavericks. Some of you are trying to figure out what I'm going to do blogging about, what I'm going to live stream video about, what matters in your life. These are things that matter to me. That's why I have pictures up there of them on the screen. The other thing I like to do is I like to actually get out there, and someone said to me, Tim, you need to identify yourself with celebrities. So Hugh Laurie actually put this out on his webpage for me, and I appreciate that. He said, Tim, if I had long hair, I'd look like Tim Gillette. So, trying to associate yourself with celebrities. I like to tell people, if you're doing video, have fun with it. I have a load of fun doing funny things on video. Once a year, I do a Big Lebowski video. Usually it's around Super Bowl day, and if you ever are following me online, you get to see that. And we've done, like, just having a Lebowski day. We've done the Lebowski cribs. You name it, we've done it. I have fun, and I'm able to pull in audiences and do stuff with that. So keys. Keys are usually something that starts something big. For me, I had to look into keys in my business and blogging and speaking and what I was going to do to make it work. A key is that thing that turns the car on. I tell people, and I usually have my motorcycle keys with me, and I jingle them, and I said, these things here, without my bike, it won't work. Now, I could get on it and ride it, and I see some of you big guys could probably push me on the bike. It'd be fun for me, but it'd be work for you, right? So I need a key to make that thing go. Well, I was looking for keys to make my business go. I've done blogging, speaking, I've written books, I've done radio shows, podcasts, and I stayed away from this thing called My Video. It scared me. I didn't want to get involved into it. However, I found it to be a huge key in my business. About a year ago, it was September a year ago, I actually plugged into my first one, and keep my notes over here. Plugged in my first one, and I realized that if I followed this same thing, and I followed the same 3 things on keys to make my videos work, that make my blog work. And I learned this concept from Frank Kern, if any of you know who Frank Kern is online, so I can't take full credit from it, I just adapted it. And this is very important to make video work. Number 1 is tell a story. I tell a story all the time. I tell a story. One of the greatest stories I ever told on my blog was telling a story about how I wished I could meet John Schneider from Papa John's. And sure enough, John Schneider from Papa John's read my blog and called me. Tell a story. You never know what's going to happen. I would tell a story on there how I'd like to meet interesting people. Now I'm friends. I've gone motorcycle riding with Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses. One of my life's dreams. I used to watch that guy on stage. One of the managers from Guns N' Roses is a personal friend of mine now. When you go out and start telling your stories, you'll be surprised what happens. The next thing I do, I'm a coach. I'm a business coach by trade, and I teach people how to, I teach people how to tell a story. Tell a story from the story, I teach from the story. So I would give you teachable content, some points of interest to help that story work into your life or business. And then the most important part in those 3 things I've learned to do on video was give a call to action. How many of you like to give calls to action? Can I see? Yep, I want you guys to notice these are the salespeople in the room. They have no problem with this. All right? They're the ones who wrote the book, Ask for the Money. If you don't know how to ask it, I'll ask you. They probably wrote the book on the subject. But those are 3 things. When I use those 3 things in blogging, speaking, live video, they worked. Seemed to pull off all kinds of things to miracleize my business. So I wanted to do this. I want to talk today about how to use live streaming to build your brand. Pretty much, can you tell that I have an interesting brand? Yes. Yeah. Okay. I was wondering. I'll make sure the food was settling. Some of us are awake in here. All right. I had to actually tell a story. How many of you want to know the story behind this? Aunt Jean, close your ears. No, man, there's nothing fancy about it. I was just at a motorcycle run one day, and I took the car. And I'm in the back of the line of the motorcycle run, and the cops are coming in behind us. And I look in the rearview mirror, and I go, I need a picture of that. That picture is 8 years old. I still use it. So anyway, teach from the story, and a good call to action. So I wanted to cover live streaming video. How many know what live streaming video is and are using it right now? How many of you have seen me on live streaming video? Okay, well, other than you, Rich. Rich back there makes fun of me. Anyway, 3 categories I put live streaming video into. Number 1 is the solo broadcaster. That's me picking up my phone and broadcasting on, say, Facebook Live or Periscope. Meerkat is where it all started. I was never on Meerkat. I liked Periscope when it came out, but I get a larger following on Facebook. Solo broadcast, me talking to the camera. Next one group that they have out there is called a conference or group. How many of you have been on the things called Blab? How many know Blab? Yeah. May it rest in peace. That was the game changer. I know some of us, are here with Google and YouTube Live. Our YouTube Hangouts was like the original that got into the main space. But Blab really opened it up. And a lot of people got on there. And I got some of the pictures out there. Oh yeah, Blab's fire up there. But we did, Jenny, Kyle and I actually did the video interview. I use Zoom all the time. It's a conference thing. You can have, I think, up to 8 people on there. These are video conference platforms. The ones that are working right now, Fire Talk, I have a live channel on that all the time. If you go to Fire Talk right now, in my channel, there is a video playing. I'm not even there. And there's a video playing. That's one thing to set up on top. But some of these are very interesting. Crowdcast and Huzza are the 2 popular ones that I hear a lot of people, the professionals, using. Joel Comm, another friend of mine, he's big on Crowdcast. The 2 recent players are Blue Jeans and Smile Time. They have a neat plug-in feature where you can actually take them and they will, instead of using your phone, you can plug in your broadcast onto Facebook Live. So, however, how they charge for those 2, I'm not sure what the plans are out, because you have to actually say, yeah, I'm interested, and take the 40-day whatever things to find out. Fire Talk was free, but they actually took away the free part of it, and you can only broadcast 10 minutes every day. So then I go to the InstaQuick. How many use these ones? Who uses Snapchat in the room? Be honest. Okay, obviously you people haven't read my blog post that said Snapchat is dead. Yeah, everybody's yeah, Snapchat. I use Instagram, and I'm a big believer in Instagram. How many of you have been watching my Instagram? I've been doing Instagram things all day from here. Instagram stories. I actually, in my Snapchat is dead blog that I wrote in April, said Snapchat's not going to be the next greatest thing. You wait. Instagram's going to come out and beat them. My opinion, I'm speaking from the front of the room because I have the mic at the moment, is, and I mean, if you're in a Snapchat, hey, it's okay, it's cool. If it works for you, use it. But Instagram has a plug-in. They automatically have 70+ million fans already tied to Facebook. They have a little bit of a head start in the game. So those are 2 out there. I use those 3. I want to share with you just a couple points in the 2 hours and 55 minutes that I have. No, I'm kidding. I actually taught what I'm going to share with you here in 7 quick points. We taught it in a 1-day workshop with actor Sandra D. Robinson, and I did it just at the beginning of this month. But I'm going to teach you how to do it 28 days or less and make it matter for you. Now, I can tell you, yeah, go turn on the camera, push button. How many know how to do that? Oh, well, maybe I better teach that. Not that many people know that. Whoa.
That's where it ends.
That's where it ends, yeah. How many people have been on a live stream and you're actually broadcasting now? You stick your face on there and you're not afraid to. You're not afraid to do it. Yeah, I was afraid to put it on there. I'm going to share with you how to actually get your face on there and actually get an audience in 28 days or less. Interested?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, interested?
Yes.
Yes.
I know how to get you guys to yell and scream by the end of the day. So number 1 you got to do is be yourself. The biggest thing that I've ever can tell you that I've learned from Zig Ziglar was I actually met him in 2003 for the first time. In 2004, he said, Tim, you should be a speaker. And I'm such a great man of action that in 2009, I met with Zig and I said, Zig, I think I'm finally getting ready to do that speaker thing. Some of you know, yeah, that's funny, but that's actually what happened. And I looked at Zig at that point in time and his health was very, very, very ailing. And I said, Zig, I'm going to go buy a suit and a tie and I'm going to get a haircut and I'm going to become a speaker just like you. And you know what Zig Ziglar said to me? No. He said, Tim, you'd suck at being Zig Ziglar. You really would. But you make a great Tim Gillette. So he says, you got to find a way, and I'm going to tell you, this is exactly what Zig said to me. You got to find a way to work with this hippie thing. That is exactly what Zig Ziglar said to me. I kid you not. So you got to be yourself. Tell your story. Tell what matters to you. I got up here and told you what mattered to me. My Aunt Jean in this room matters to me. My wife that came with me matters to me. And that is my story. And I can't deviate from that. I tell the stories around the country when I speak of telling people I grew up in South Canaan, Pennsylvania. Who knows where South Canaan, Pennsylvania is? You know, that is the most hands I've ever seen raised in a room. However, I then tell the story. I said, if you're over 40 years of age, you've heard of South Canaan, Pennsylvania. Because back in 1973, a lady came there to hide who made national news. Her name was Patty Hearst. How many of you remember that? So do I, because my parents almost bought that house.
Whoa.
We lived down the street, and as a matter of fact, was it yesterday, honey, that we drove past the house? We were up in South Canaan. We went and drove past the house. I said, showed my wife, I said, that's the house where Patty Hearst hid at. Now, for the first time in 7 years of speaking, people actually know it and know the story. It's fun to actually have that happen. So, be yourself. Number 2, build or use a simple system. Get yourself down a system on video. The biggest thing that I did was build a system for my blogs that made me successful in blogs. Was I actually learned how to do my blogs in a system that I could do it, and I was able to do it 5 days a week, post a blog. Well, video, I told you, use that three-step system. If you just tell a story, share some content about your story, and give a call to action, that's so simplistic. I mean, Frank Kern, the biggest internet marketer there is, that's all he does to use his videos. That's his plan. Keep it simple. This is the big one. Engage. Engage with those in the audience. How many of you watch other people actually who are doing the video, they're talking to their camera, and all of a sudden they look in there and they go, "Hi Sally, good to see you join us today. Valerie, thanks for stopping by." They actually do that. Why do they do that?
They want you to come back.
They want you to come back, but also if you hear your name, how excited? Valerie, is it exciting that you hear?
So excited.
That I actually said your name in the front of the room. Yeah. Go home and say, yeah, this rock and roll guy said my name. I'm excited. So people like to hear their own name. Acknowledge them. Ask them questions. I see this. See, I love name tags because I see now Jim. So I ask a question. If I knew Jim, I'd ask Jim a question that he could answer. Engage with the audience. Have a very strong open and close. I always love this. The strong open and close. And I wrote a quick note down for this because I wanted to actually remind you guys of this. A strong open and close. Strong open would be come out with a very interesting idea. Some of the guys that I actually see speak, and I do something different every time I walk to the front of the room, but I have a friend in California who walks up and throws T-shirts. He doesn't speak for 5 minutes. He's throwing T-shirts. That's his gig. My speaker coach starts from the back of the room and walks up the center aisle talking. They all have this compelling, different opening that makes them unique. Come up with a compelling way to come live on video. Too often, too many people are scared of the little red light. And they do this. "Hi, I am Tim Gillette." No, be lively, all right? Do something that's just so compelling and so opening that make people go, "I got to stay around and see what this nut's going to do. This guy's just too weird. I got to watch him. He might get wild on me or something." And then a close. A very compelling close is you've got to give some people some place to go, some way to take action. If you're not willing to give them something to go to take action, and we're just all here to hang out and sing kumbaya, we're never going to get anything done in business. All right? I know I look like I'm a goofball hippie, all right? But I get some stuff done in business. Just ask my wife. All right? And have a compelling title. We were very famous, my friend David and I would do them on Blab. The biggest thing that we would do was write, "I know why your Blab's failing, and here's how to fix it." And people would show up. And I wanted to tell you then, while we're doing compelling, is, in case some of you don't know, I'm the guy who spread the Blab verification. Now, some of you have actually heard about that. When Blab went, whoever's doing this, the CEO had to call me and say, "Will you stop? I'm getting 2,800 emails a day about this." We took it for a ride. I actually had people pay me money to get Blab verification. I had to send them money back, said it was a joke. Serious. So anyway. Number 5 on this is motivate and move people to do something. I'm going to motivate you and move you to go actually do a video today. I did one from the back of the room today that was actually on my Facebook Live, one on my Periscope, and most of you wouldn't even know it was there. Try the video on. Put me on video right now. I dare any one of you. Put it on video. Start telling people. Yeah, go for it. Somebody's going to take action. But if you actually take the people who are watching your live video and you compel them to come off of that screen watching you and come to your website, come to do something with you. That's a call to action. Even if I tell you, hey, would you subscribe to my broadcasts? That's a call to action. Get them to engage with you and come off the screen. It's great to have them and see them on Facebook, but I tell people I don't sell people to a Facebook page all the time because I like Mark Zuckerberg, but I really want to build my own list of business. Number 6, have a purpose in what you're doing. You know, I told you at the beginning, tell your story. Tell a story that matters with what you're talking about. Have purpose about what you're doing. In other words, when you pick up that camera, have an outline. Even for the speech today, I have an outline to keep me on track. Have that outline there. However, don't do word from word. And I'm going to do this to the camera here real quick. So I'm reading from the teleprompter, and it doesn't work well. As you can see, I'm probably not someone who reads my notes that often. I'm sort of, let's get out there. I was shocked that when I got on Blab, within 2 weeks, I had 1,000 followers, and I couldn't figure out why. Anyway, have a purpose about what you're doing. And then I'm going to give you now, as we close, that's my clue to close, is we're going to give you great ways to actually put this into use. Number 1, use it to research a topic. My friend Coach Jenny out in California, her book Hilda, Jenny actually did research. And if you go watch some of her broadcasts, she just said, I'm talking about this chapter today. Come in and help me gather research. Want to write a book? Get people in a conference chat and start talking about what you're going to write about. Number 2, share your system or process. It's the biggest thing I do is I share my system or process, and I give them tidbits on the actual broadcast. For more information, go sign up at rockaroundyourblog.com. That's what I do. This is the greatest one I'm going to teach you, and this is called the Oprah effect. The 2 people in the room who told me how big of an audience they had. And I'm not just going to let this open to them now. I'm going to be picky, and I'm going to open this up to the whole room. If you see me today, and you'd like to be interviewed by me on Facebook Live, how this works is, and I'm going to use you, Jessica. Can I use you? All right. I walk up and I start asking you questions, and you just answer the question. It's broadcasting live to my, oh, check out the beautiful girl who walked into the back of the room. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Daddy. After I ask you the questions, you're just answering them. You don't know who you're talking to. You're just talking to my camera. Well, after I'm done with that, I take it and put it up on Facebook and post it. And I said, hey, Jessica, here's the video that I made about you. What do you think? What are you going to do with it, Jess? Share it. Yeah, these are hard questions. They're pretty easy. But then I just said, well, that's a very interesting video that we did. I'm going to write a blog post about it, put the video into it. Hey, Jessica, I wrote a blog about that video. Check it out. Tell me what you think. What are you going to do? Share it. Oprah Winfrey built her whole audience doing that. She invited you to come in and share your content and bring your audience in. And then she invited you to bring your content and your audience in. And she built a whole thing around the world, interviewing other people. I'd encourage you, if you have not interviewed people in this room, to take your phone and start interviewing them. And then put it on Facebook and tag them and see what happens. It's worked. I've done it all over the country. And the biggest thing I like to say is wow your audience. You got to wow your audience when doing it. So I'm going to tell you another great secret that I didn't even put in my notes on how to get yourself on live interviews. How many of you did a testimonial for Northeastern PA BlogCon? How many are going to do a testimonial for Northeastern PA BlogCon? You know, maybe you've heard of a guy who did this. His name's Brendan Burchard. That's how Brendan Burchard got known, was doing testimonials for other people. Start doing testimonials for other people's event and make it a wow testimonial so they'll put it up on the page. And by the way, when you do the testimonial, you always say, hey, you always say this. Hi, I'm Tim Gillette. My website is timgillette.com. If you'd say that for me every time, I'd appreciate it. No, you got to wow your audience. You got to play with them. So let me give you a wow as I close this out. All right? They told me to identify myself with a celebrity. Yes, that is a domain name of mine. I have 21 live streaming ideas, all right, and I do it in a challenge. You can actually do it 21 days straight, and I have 30 days of blogging ideas. If you'll go to that website right there and sign up for my newsletter, you can have a copy of these. Or if you give me, while you're here, give me your business card with your email address on, agreeing to be on my newsletter list. I have paper copies to give you to take home and do these. But yes, associate yourself with a celebrity, walking through the LAX airport, and this TSA agent said, "Tom Petty," and followed me all the way to my gate. And I got home, and my buddy David said, "You should see if nottompetty.com is available." And it was, so I used it. Guys, I hope you learn and take action on everything you get done here today. I appreciate you spending time with me. I am here for the rest of the day, and I would love to meet and shake every one of your hands. I'm Tim Gillette. Thank you for your time, guys.